Good morning. My name is Michelle Socker. I am the Director of Sponsorships and Special Events at the Chamber of Commerce of the Palm Beaches. And I first would just like to thank everyone for joining this webinar. I know you're going to walk away with 5 tips you can apply immediately today after this to increase your business and prospecting and contacts on LinkedIn. So I just want to cover a couple of housekeeping rules. If everyone, we are muting your microphones, but if you could keep them muted, that would be great. We appreciate that. I'm sure you will have questions. So the format today will be 20 minutes of a presentation, short, crisp, to the point, and then 10 minutes for important questions and answers for you. At that point, we will be turning the chat back on. If you can please send your questions to me, Michelle Socker. I will share them with Debbie, and we will do our best to get them answered. All right. Also, we have turned off the video cams for this particular meeting. We have other types of meetings that are virtual now that are more based on networking, where we would have your cameras turned on. So thank you for your patience for that. They are actually to keep things focused today and focused on the speaker. We're keeping them turned off. All right. So I would like to do a formal and much deserved introduction to our colleague and chamber member, longstanding chamber member, Debbie Weems. She's originally a New Englander, and she is the CEO of DW Consulting. She currently lives in South Florida, and she has enjoyed a 35-year career in PR, marketing, and fundraising for corporations and nonprofits. She founded DW Consulting in 2011 to fill a void that she saw in social media, offering coaching and using LinkedIn as a powerful branding and marketing tool. She's coached over 800 individual professionals in 24 countries and hundreds more through workshops and speaking engagements. She is passionate about the marketing power of the world's largest networking site. Her firm focuses on offering customized LinkedIn coaching for corporations, individual professionals, professionals in transition, in addition to live webinars and speaking engagements. Debbie and her team partner with several South Florida colleagues and universities, are active in local and regional networking organizations. She's an avid fan of saltwater, sports, and golf courses, so makes sense that she's here in sunny South Florida with all of us, because she could do those every day. All right, well, hopefully again very soon. All right, so with that said, Debbie, thank you so much for sharing your expertise and time with us today. It's been a pleasure working with you. I know you have a lot of great things to offer that are practical, easily applied, and quickly applied. So with that said, I'm going to officially hand the meeting over to you as the presenter.
Thank you, Michelle.
All right.
Good day to everybody. Thanks for making the time for this webinar. I know you have a lot on your plate. It's not true that everybody is just sitting at home watching Netflix, so I appreciate the half hour you're dedicating to this webinar. And I'm sure you're going to walk away with a lot more than 5 tips. I will ensure that. And there will be some reference documents coming your way sometime this afternoon from Michelle. So thank you again for the opportunity. I love what the Chamber continues to do, especially in this time of transition for everybody. We're all in this together. That's a saying that you're going to hear frequently. So today's webinar, you might have thought this was an unusual title, that LinkedIn is your friend during the pandemic. Well, if you're debating about whether or not you should continue promoting your business, I'm here to give you some strategies to follow with a firm answer of yes, you absolutely need to continue promoting your business. So the trick is you're going to do it a little bit differently. And I'm sure most of you have already started making changes, maybe hopefully vastly different from the way you were promoting. I'm going to be going through different parts of LinkedIn to give you some specific examples, but understanding that we're all dealing with changes right now, particularly a lot of people are dealing with job loss or being furloughed, laid off, in transition. Those of us who are running businesses are running every which way to keep our businesses going. And a lot of that has to do with being able to change with the times. You know, virtual everything is the norm now. You know that everyone is scheduling webinars. We are scheduling online meetings through Zoom or GoToMeeting, WhatsApp. There's a whole bunch of different platforms you can use, most of which are free initially. And some of them are going to, I know Zoom just lifted the 45-minute limit on their free account, which is fantastic. So there's a lot of companies out there that are striving to service us, as well as all of you individual professionals trying to adjust to all these changes. So we're all in this together. We're all dealing with the same changes. I think the word that has to be in the forefront of your mind, capital bold letters, is empathy. You must approach everything and everyone with empathy. This is not the time to be pitching your products or your services. It is a time to continue job seeking if you're in that category. Every HR person I've talked to, especially to get ready for our recent webinar for job seekers, indicated, yes, you absolutely want to continue job seeking. That is another topic for another day. But here's my point. You want to stay in touch with your audience, whether it be clients or prospects. You want to stay in touch with everyone. And in doing that, there's so many different ways that you can continue staying top of mind with people. And here's what one of my early mentors calls the bullwhip effect. This will pass. This crisis will pass. And in time, we're all going to be adjusting the different ways that we go about doing our business. And in the end, when it passes, there is going to be a return to people needing your products and services. So keeping that in mind, it's really imperative right now that you stay in touch with your network. Okay, you know I'm crazy about LinkedIn. I've been living on this site for almost 12 years. I've had a business that'll be 9 years old in June. You know, time flies and this period will pass. So my whole objective, and this is what I'm going to strongly suggest to each of you, is that you keep in mind that when this crisis passes, whoever has been staying in touch with their clients, their prospects, their network, those are the people and companies that are going to come out of this at the other end and they're going to hit the ground running. And I know this to be true because I'm already connecting with corporations who had to cancel out our conference engagements. We lost some significant revenue with 3 conferences we were scheduled to not only attend but speak at and do a special service for the attendees that we've developed called Rapid Profile Reviews. We lost all that business. However, we've been staying in touch with those conference programmers, and one of those people came back and we worked out a way, because they worked out a way, to do their conference online. And they brought us right in, and we're going to do everything we were scheduled to do in person. We're going to do it virtually. So, you know, you have to be creative. You want to be innovative. That's just one example. But here's the thing. We all have, you know, you can call it a pipeline or whatever you'd like, whatever your system is for acquiring people into your network that are, well, on LinkedIn, this is the way we explain it. You should be connecting with people on LinkedIn that'll either lead you to business or become your business later. That's our simple strategy. We've followed it for years. It creates a network on LinkedIn that is viable, not just a numbers game, okay? You're purposely seeking out people that you really want to connect with, and ultimately down the road, maybe you want to do business with them, or you know that they're connected to somebody that you could do business with. Keep that strategy in mind. But when you continue to build your network and you continue to stay in front of your audience, then they're going to remember you later. And here's why they're going to remember you. Because right now, you're going to focus on giving. You're going to find something in your profession that you can just give away. And for us, we've started doing 30-minute videos, webinars. Right now, we're doing them every week. And in the beginning, I did have some feedback from some long-term networking friends slash clients slash well-meaning people that I know, professionals, and they said, "Are you crazy?" And I said, "No." I said, "I know the value of what we do, and I also know that people out there are in dire need of all sorts of training right now, and they don't happen to have a regular paycheck coming in. So yes, we're giving away a lot of information right now, and in the end, people are going to hopefully remember that. And you know what's happening? It's a beautiful thing. I'm being connected with people right now for conferences for 2021. How amazing is that? It's something that, again, it kind of shouts empathy. You need to show that you care. One of the reference documents that I've passed on to Michelle to give to all of you that are registered for this is from one of my early mentors. I'll just flash into his profile real quick because I get tired of looking at my face. Anyway, his name is Wayne Britbarth, and he's up in Milwaukee. And Wayne has been doing LinkedIn training a whole lot longer than I, but his entire career, his business was a family furniture store. And for years, that's what he did. He's a super personable guy. I'm going to give him a boatload of credit right now and tell all of you, connect with Wayne. Now remember, you need to be on his profile and hit connect and write a note to him. And absolutely drop my name in the note. No, I'm not getting paid for this. This is something I love to do. Wayne helped me a whole lot when I was starting my business. He's the one that convinced me to get off the fence about it. So when you connect with Wayne, you are going to bring about, ready? 27,000 more LinkedIn members into your network. That's 27,000 more members that can bring you up in a keyword-driven search. That's how it works. I don't want you to forget that. Anyway, connect with Wayne, but one of the reference documents that I'm passing out to everybody, you'll get it from Michelle, he has a formula called the 631 rule. And if you just look it over, it's super easy to understand. It will prevent any of you who are in sales, it will prevent you from posting and pitching all the time, because that's not something that you want to do. And this is one of the first things I want to show you. On the home page, okay, staying in front of your network, there's going to be a lot of things on your home. I'm on the home page, and you want to scroll through here. And there's going to be all kinds of advice coming out. Kelly's one of my favorite people in the whole world. But there's also a lot of tips for doing things virtually, webinars. You know, scroll through here for a couple of minutes at least and find something that resonates with you, okay? And what you're going to do, instead of just liking it, and they borrowed these emoticons from another site. But anyway, instead of just clicking like, which is fine, you're going to get more mileage if you comment. LinkedIn will actually give you more mileage, more visibility if you comment on posts that have meaning to you. If you really want to hit the ball out of the park, so to speak, click on share, but don't just share it and let it go. You want to share it and take a minute to introduce what it is you are sharing. And that will really gain you points with LinkedIn's algorithm. They're going to make sure more people see what you are sharing because you're taking a minute to help somebody else. The originator is help. So Alicia, since I'm looking at this, I'm going to use her as an example. So she took this post, she's connected to Strati, and she saw this post and it resonated, and she just introduced it with please share if you agree. That's a share with a comment, out it goes. 37 minutes ago, she posted this. Now, I'm not able to see what her stats are, but you would be able to see on your profile, if you did this, they'll always tell you what your stats are. Okay. The more relevant you can be, I'm going back up to the top because you want to take advantage of starting your own post. Try using some of Wayne's tips. And let me show you what happened exactly a week ago back on my profile. And by the way, if you're not doing this already, you can go to any LinkedIn profile and scroll down to see if they have activity. If they have posted at all or done anything on LinkedIn, they're going to have this little field, and you want to click See All. This is a great way to keep up with things that you might have missed, like something we did recently. You can go right to Post. Now that's going to show you every post that I have originated in the past. I don't know, I post a lot, so you probably see a couple of weeks worth of things that we've originated. I can't encourage you enough to listen to this woman's TED Talk. It's about 16 minutes long. She is a lifelong humanitarian. I'll tell you what, just be inspired and listen to Dr. Thomas's TEDx talk. Anyway, I want to show you what I did last Tuesday. I have to scroll down a bit because I scroll a lot, post a lot, and red is becoming my favorite color. I'll show you why. So every Tuesday I try to put out a Tuesday LinkedIn tip. I didn't mean for this graphic to be quite so huge. However, let me show you what's happened with this in 1 week. And I kept it short, as I said, because there's too many people inviting me to connect. I'm sure you've all dealt with this. And right after you connect with them, they start pitching you. Or worse, they do what we instruct, which is send out a short thank you note. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is because they're not keeping it short. They're saying, thanks for connecting, Debbie. By the way, did you know you can do lead generation on LinkedIn? Let us show you how, yada, 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 4 paragraphs of pitching me. They don't bother saying, when can I call? When can we talk? No, they're just throwing their business at me. That is the fastest way to get me to disconnect immediately. You have to develop the relationship. But back to the point, Red, I broke 5,000 views today, and I've had 102 people react to this, mostly in my favor. There's only been one person really out of 5,000 who said, oh, why don't you just, ask them what they can do for you? And I said, because that's not my strategy. We want to develop a relationship with people. We don't want to pitch them. I want to find out who they are, what we can do for them. And you need to get that relationship built first. Anyway, I wanted to show you that real quick. So keep posting. If you do newsletters, keep sending them out. We debated and took us 10 minutes to decide we're going to keep posting our newsletters. So we have one coming out May 5th. That'll have a whole bunch of information in it. You also want to repurpose blogs. If you blog at all, you can go, let me go to the home page to show you how to do this. If you write a blog already, you can repurpose that as a LinkedIn article. So instead of starting a post, you would click on write an article, takes you into a whole different template. You pick a picture to put up here, the headline comes out just like the headline, and then you copy and paste your blog right here and you publish it. And what happens after that is, hold on one second, I will show you. So when you post an article, it ends up coming out on your page, your profile. Under activity, see all. Now people can go and this stays on your profile. So I don't even know how many I have, probably 40. And they stay there until and unless you delete them, which you would never do, really. Now this is dated, obviously. So I just busted myself. I will get a new I will get a new article on here probably 10 minutes after I finish this webinar. But anyway, you get the point. It's another way to keep yourself out there, and you can make it pretty much of anything you want. I promote all the different things that we're attending or doing, and now we're going to start posting articles about just different focus items for LinkedIn. So comment and share on your posts, repurpose those blogs into articles. The strategy we have is simply stay visible, be relevant, be remembered, so that later when business gets back to whatever the new normal is, they're going to think of you, you're going to be top of mind. Get into virtual everything. Learn Zoom if you don't know it. This is a great time to revisit your LinkedIn profile. You want to review your entire content for your headline and your about section. It's a really good time to refresh, re-strategize a little bit, sit back and breathe. You know, one of the good things that's coming out of this whole crisis is that people are starting to breathe. You know, they're not all on warp speed like we usually are, and they're reconnecting, not only at home with their families, which is terrific, but they are also reconnecting in a healthy way to get a better sense of what's important in your life. You know, it's not all work, 100 miles an hour. You need to stop and you need to breathe. So I could talk forever. Make sure you connect with me on LinkedIn. And again, I really appreciate your time today. Michelle, I think we might be ready to open it up for questions. And okay, let me see how I can get Michelle back on here.
Hi, Debbie.
Okay, there you are.
All right.
Do you want to take the screen back, or maybe leave it with me and tell me if we've got questions?
That sounds good. So this is a point where each of you, by your name, as most of you probably know, but if anyone's new, you can click on a down arrow. And if you click on that, one of the things that you get to do is send a chat message. So if you would like to send a chat message, please send it just to me, not the whole group, and I will share it with Debbie and we will get your question answered.
And I can certainly keep talking in the meantime.
Here, they're coming in now. All right, thank you. Okay. All right. Okay, first question is from Jeffrey Fine of I Think Financial, who's a chamber member. All right, he's asking, what is the difference between a post and an article?
Okay, that's a good one. So on your home page at the top, start a post. That's when you want to announce something. It's something you should be doing at least once a day. And time of day doesn't really make so much difference anymore because most people are working from home and they're on the computers a lot more. The difference between a post and an article. Okay, a post goes out and it goes into, when you post it, it goes out to all your first level connections home page right now, immediately. And it goes into the feed on the home page. So if I refresh my screen, I'm betting Gary's going to be gone and it's going to be replaced by other people that are posting. And that's why it's called a feed. It's going to keep changing. I have a huge network. My posts change, my home page changes every second. When you post an article, it stays on, it goes out as a post to everybody, just like a regular post, but the article stays on your profile under your activity. So people can go to see all, and they can go into your articles And it's something that stays. It's permanent unless and until you delete it. So when you click on articles on anyone's profile, if they've written any or repurposed a blog, that's where they stay. So I hope that makes that easier to understand.
Yes, thank you for that. Okay. All right. So here's a second question. I actually like this. Well, I like all the questions, but is it so terrible to be 100% transparent and offer a business service in my first invitation to connect? And there's a second part to that. I'm going to put two questions together because they're related in my mind. And would it be okay to promote free services on LinkedIn now?
Okay. Promoting free services, sure. I don't see any problem with that. Do it in a sincere way that you're out to help people. Everyone that follows our webinars, they know we're not going to keep doing free 30-minute webinars every week forever. We're doing it for now. And to give you an example of why I'm an advocate for not pitching anything initially, let me show you. These are my, I'm sorry, Georgelina, I know you're on the call. But anyway, I needed to show people some invitations. When you go into my network and you're looking at your invitations, check on See All over here, and it'll reformat this list. And when you do that, it'll show you when people invited you. And thank you to everybody that's on this webinar right now. I want to show you this. When you personalize your invitation, you have to go to the person's profile, hit connect from there, and then choose add a note. It's a personal, unless they feature you on a webinar like this, it's a personal message from you to them. All right, this is an example of a personalized invitation. This is pretty harmless. I'm going to look at Amanda's profile first because normally I don't even do that because she doesn't have a headshot. That's a hard, fast rule with me. The only reason I'm going to look at Amanda's profile is because I have clients from US Health Advisors. So I will cut into my standard and I'll go to her profile and look for value. I want to see who she is, where does she work, what does she do, how many people does she have in her network, how can I help her or how can she help me? Okay. Another personalized invitation. Hi, Cami. Thank you. I will go back and accept these later. I'm just trying to find an example that I thought I had, but Tyrone invited me 12 hours ago. No verbiage. So, and this is the way most invitations come in. People don't know that trick about personalizing. So I am working my way back to whether it's okay or not to offer something out of the gate, as we say. I prefer no solicitation on the invitation to connect. None. I'll tell you why. You're trying to develop a relationship here. And it's just like picturing a networking event. Can't wait to get back to the ones in person, but it's just like an in-person networking event when somebody walks up to you with a fistful of business cards and they go to hand you a card, not their hand to shake. And just picture it, because I know you've all had this done to you. It's a little bit insulting, frankly. It's presumptuous and it's very, very unprofessional in my book. Meet the people first. So refrain from selling at all. Invite the person to connect, take a look at their profile, reference something in it that gave you a hint of synergy. Where did they go to school? Do they belong to any of the same groups you belong to? Are you in professional groups together? Do you know some of the mutual connections? LinkedIn will always show you mutual connections on a person's profile. I'm going to bounce into Tyrone's just for a second here. It doesn't really matter to me where people are, unless it's a country where we do not do business. And then I have no reason to expand my network into those countries. But okay, Tyrone's in New York. He is real estate, obviously, but he's second level to me. And that tells me right away, boom, we have mutual connections. I'm going to click on those people. And in seconds, I'm going to determine, okay, I know I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know 5 out of the first 10 really well. That's enough. I don't have to go any further. That's a plus for Tyrone. Even though I don't know him, I know on the first page of 55 people that we're both connected to, those are trusted connections. I know I can help him right away because he needs a background banner. I can tell him how to do that. I can definitely help him build out his content. So even though he's got over 500 connections, he needs some help on his profile. So I'm going to accept his invitation, even though there's not a whole lot there to go on other than the mutual connections. Now, I'm going to send him a message later, and my standard message is, "Hi, Tyrone. Thanks for connecting with me on LinkedIn. I appreciate it. I look forward to your posts. Best regards, Debbie Weems." Period. I thank him, and I leave it at that. Now, I have a strategy that goes further. That's just part of our pipeline. Later, I'm going to send him an email outside of LinkedIn, because now that I am connected to him, let me go back to his profile. And once you're connected to somebody, you're going to have their email in their contact information right here. So 9 times out of 10, they're displaying their email. Keep in mind, it's their personal email most often, but that's the email I'm going to send him outside of LinkedIn in a few days, saying, "Thanks again for connecting. I hope you enjoy this reference document about endorsements versus recommendations." So I'm giving him something out of the gate for free, not mentioning anything about my services. It's an email, but in my signature, I have a whole bunch of information he can click on. That's how we start. That's how we start our relationships. I can talk forever.
Hi, Debbie. I think that was excellent, because I especially think people, when they're new to promoting themselves, their business, a service, or an organization, or maybe they just haven't had any training and they're being asked to do that. We're all being asked to take on new roles in all of our organizations right now, or working for ourselves. So I think that's excellent. It's all about relationship building, which is built on empathy, trust, and kindness. We do business with people we know, like, and trust. So thank you for that. I could listen to you for another half an hour, because I always learn new things from you, and I'm so grateful for your time. And we at the Chamber really appreciate you being a loyal member, longstanding member, and sharing your time and talent with us via this webinar today. So thank you so much. And to everyone on the call, thank you for joining. All good things must come to an end. I hope you have a peaceful day today, and I will be sending out summary documents for you to implement immediately. So look forward to that. So I'm going to say thank you to Debbie, and goodbye.